Good afternoon, YouTube. I'm back with a second video for today. This right here shouldn't be as long as the first review. What I got for you guys today is Andreas. Let's see if it'll come up. Andreas Dominikas, the owner of Layin Low Hobbies. He's got a Facebook page. He's got a YouTube page. Right now, there's no content on it. Super friendly guy. He's really nice to talk to. You guys have seen him get involved in some of the Yahoo chat groups with Gil and Stan and them. He likes to come in. He has made some products before. Here and there. He's helped design some photo etch stuff for a few of us way back in the day. But now he himself, you can follow him on Facebook, Google+, Instagram, and YouTube. Like I said, there's not much on his channel right now. But very friendly guy, really nice to talk to. What I have today is him and Stan have both purchased 3D printers, and they are putting out some 3D parts. So I was able to get some products from them, from Andreas. I haven't got none from Stan, but both are using the same printer right now. I think Stan is buying the newest one pretty soon. So again, I'm gonna come to you with the my honest opinion of the product. I shared some pictures on Facebook, and it started up some conversations and allegations, or however you want to call it. My reviews ain't to defer you guys what you should do. Like I said, use your own choice of judgment, who you want to deal with, what you want to do. The products I'm going to review to you are courtesy of Layin Low Hobbies. I made a comment to Andreas that if he would send me a wheel, that I'd like to make some tires for him, because he was making the wheels on his 3D printer, and right now he didn't have no tires. I was lucky enough that Andreas, not only did he send me a wheel to make a tire for, he actually sent me sets that I could keep for myself. So with that further ado, he sent me a nice little note here. Let me pull that out real quick. On the note, he says that these wheels are one of his first items coming off the 3D printer. They'll get better as he learns products to use, programs in which he can add more depth and detail and stuff like that. And he wanted me to mention that all the 3D drawings come from Draft Designs. Draft at one point will do one-off wheels. Draft will also, he has wheels on Shapeways and stuff like that. Draft is really big into the 3D CAD drawings, I should say. He don't print his own parts. He'll wheel cast. He will do resin copies of the wheels that he has printed from Shapeways, but Shapeways being a multi-million-dollar company now with great big machines, enough to run products daily. Andreas and Stan's 3D printers are small. They can only do a few items at a time. It takes more product. They don't have a whole lot of choices in the products that they can use to print right now, meaning as of the plastic. And if you go to Shapeways, you can get clear plastic, crystal plastic, you can get metals out of them, coppers, all kinds of stuff done from Shapeways. But these wheels I'm going to do right now, Andreas has done off the top of his bench. They are all 3D printed in plastic. So the CAD drawings were done by Draft. Draft has a store, I believe, over there on Shapeways, where you could either buy the products, and then I believe draft.com has it to where you can buy the files to do the print. There's a lot of guys out there that have the files, but yet they're not printing on themselves. And Dre's has the files for a few wheels, and he is printing them himself. The biggest concern so far has been somebody saying that they paid for that drawing and that other people are using their CAD drawing. I can't speak for Andreas. I can't speak for Draft. I know that once the files were produced by Draft, some of them were put up for sale. I don't know the access to those files or not. I know there's a few guys out there that have every file that Draft made available, and I know there's some people that had stuff custom made by Draft. I don't know what happened to those files. So if I review any product that somebody had special made and then now I'm going to review on my desk, I apologize for that. I can't speak for Andreas. I'm speaking for Mr. Mini Dreams, myself, David. I'm going to support the hobby the best I can. Andreas sent me these products to review to see what I thought of his 3D printings. I told him I would do it on Facebook and I would do it on YouTube. I was just planning on making the gentleman some tires. He's seen the way I do my low profile tire stuff. I was graciously enough able to get some sets for myself. So what I'm going to do is review you guys for the sets that I have gotten for myself. So today, he sent me these right here. Now these are the little ones, and then there's a bigger one. The little ones are plain. The big ones are the same way. I got a third wheel I'll show you in a minute. Now these right here are as a sleeve. You can see it printed on the back. It has the post for the wheel, which is really good. But the way these are printed is you have a ring, and then you have the center. So the center comes out of these, and you can see it's pretty. It's got a nice thickness to us. We've had some resin wheels show up for some of us, and the centers are so thin that they actually break. But these right here, the way Andreas did these is they slide in this sleeve pretty snug. So once you paint them, you might have to do some cleanup, but you can produce your stagger. You can make the stagger the way you want to. If you want them a shallow wheel with the shallow lip, or if you want them wide with the wide lip. And these right here would be, I consider these right here being the 1920s. These right here being like the 24s, 24s, 26s, depending upon what vehicle you have. Now, I made the tire for this. It started out as something big like this. And then you can see the big sidewall and the thin sidewall. And then what I've done is I've already sanded these centers on these ones. But you can make the depth whatever you want on these, which is really, really cool. I got a set of the big ones and then a set of the smaller ones. Now, here's the set of the smaller ones with the tires. And I like using the Fujimi Tamiya tires, the Aeroshima tires that you'll get with the kits or with their aftermarket wheels. This tread pattern here is not so great, it's just a bland, but the sidewall is really thick, and I like them because they're solid. You can see they're solid. They're still soft, but they're solid. But I'm able to drill them out and make my own low profile. Come on, focus. And make my own low profile out of them. And I will trim this back here to fit inside what I need. But I trimmed the tires down. And I got several sets. I'm going to send these tires. Once these tires here are done, I will put them... I'll put them in the mail, and then Andreas will get a set for him. So there's that set style, and even with, like I said, with the big ones, you can set the staggered. They slide back and forth. Now, if you look at them, the bigger one is easy to see. Now, mind you, this is just a personal gentleman here. I don't consider it copying somebody's work. When you're using a 3D printer, you can see a little bit of the grooves in it how it prints, but it's showing the lug nuts and the center cap. Shows the detail pretty decent. It got one little string where it jumped, but that's easy to clean up with an X-Acto knife. I left it on there so you guys could see that. The other wheels The other wheel is cleaned up. And then I took the lug nuts off of this one because I want to make these smooth for another build I'm working on. So, but you can see that they cleaned up really well. They go back in here. The one side has a lip. The other side is just flat. But so that way you can tell the difference between the front and the back. Now these right here these are still a draft design, but the newer CADs coming, the newer 3D drawings from draft now, because there was people actually buying the wheels from Shapeways. They was buying one wheel, and then what they was doing is making a mold and casting a bunch and then selling them off as their own. One thing Draft did do is he made a signature wheel, and as you can see the D in the Draft. Well, at this point, Andreas hasn't modified any of the Draft drawings. He's just taken the Draft files and printed them out. I cleaned up the holes when you come in here. The holes were more, they were a little tight. You can see it a little bit on this one. You can see a little slag still on some of them. I haven't got them all cleaned up. I cleaned off this one, but they clean up really easy. I put my drill bit in there, and the drill bit cleaned it up really easy. Again, you can see that, get it in there, you can see the lug nuts in there, the pattern. It does have these grooves by Draft in there. It gave support to the wheel. This one here does not have your axle post on it. But these being 3D printed, guys, you can see the strength of the tire. And some resin rings are soft. So if you put this tire on it, it shrinks it. Here is the exact same tire, not sanded out yet, and it does not disshape the form of the wheel at all. It's a very, very good stout. I'm squeezing as hard as I can right now, and it's good stout plastic that Andreas is using. I think, I can't speak for the matter of where the printer is from. Maybe Stan or Andreas can comment down below where they actually got the 3D printer. But I know they weren't cheap. I know the printers aren't cheap. And for these gentlemen to step out there and start doing something like that. I think Stan made a Yoda last week with the Star Wars mask on it. It looks pretty neat because it's a Yoda belly and the robe, but it's got the Star Wars white, whoever the white military. I'm not familiar with Star Wars, guys, but the warriors that work for Darth Vader wears the white suits. He put a head on it in his 3D printer. It's pretty darn awesome. But here's a virgin tire straight from Hiroshima. I don't have drilled nothing out yet. And here's the regular wheel from Andreas. And you can see, you don't have to modify the tire at all. They go right on there. And the wheels keep their shape. They don't bend. Still need to clean up this. So this is one of the wheels not cleaned up yet. And it don't bend. It don't show none of the humps that Draft had put in there for the support. Very good. The drawings, the CAD drawings that Draft does for us in the hobby is some really, really killer stuff. On Facebook, you can go to Draft Wheels there, or you can try to contact Benjamin Ogerman. And I think that's how you say his last name. Sorry, Iso, if I said your name wrong. But he also has stuff on Facebook. Right now, he's going to change from being... he's going to change from doing 1/24 wheels to doing some RC stuff. So here in a little bit, he won't be offering any other 1/24 scale wheels. So you guys will have to try to get a hold of him and see where he is. what he has left and where you guys can find the files. I don't know how much the files cost. I know at one point some of the special order files was running kind of expensive, because when he does his special 3D drawings, guys, they're detailed. What I have here from Andreas is a simple wheel with it has depth, it has features to it, but in order for these guys to learn their programming, they can't go into all the different levels of detailing that some of these other wheel companies have out there. Spend some time, go to Shapeways and look to see what they have to offer, and you'll see that, you know, some of the wheels ain't great. Some of the wheels are awesome, but the price is still there too. The prices are pretty expensive. And for these guys, for Andreas to do this on his bench and the products that he shipped to me, these are ready to use. A light sanding if you don't want to see the grooves. I kind of like the grooves. It gives it a level. It gives it a level instead of just something flat. Like when I use resin, my wheels are just flat. There's not a whole lot of detail to them. But these right here, you have a texture detail to them, but that's because of the way the thing is printing out. This a quick example. I'm going to take out a snap together promo truck that I have. This right here is the promo AMT Chevrolet promo truck, and you can see right here's the littler wheel. It looks great on there. Then you can get the staggered deeper look if you wanted to, and do the back. There's the big wheel on the back. Then if I set that back up there, you know, I already sent Andreas these pictures. I can't do picture stills on my phone, but if you look, you know, you can build a neat looking little hot rod. And the big wheel, I got to do some modification to the bed if I want to use the big wheels, but you know, here it is. You put that on there in that truck, you know, and you get you know, gives you some flavor, some customalities to some stuff that you might not otherwise have. I know the hobby's not cheap when you get into the 3D printing stuff, but for some of us out there that are willing to tackle the price of the machine and learn the CAD work and stuff, or have somebody like Draft Designs that can do your files for you at a price, and you guys can do these at home, thank you so much. Because some of us can't afford to buy from Shapeways when they want $70 for a set of wheels sometimes, or you know, you can't get access to it. I do know with Draft on some of his personal builds that he ran limited numbers. So like if he made this artillery looking wheel, is what these would be called, artillery style, maybe he put that out there and somebody printed out there, and then they said, you know, I'm only going to sell 10 copies of it. And once Shapeways had sold 10 sets, they dropped the file. I know some of these companies can set that up. They can have unlimited prints, and some of them only want to run 2 or 3 to keep them down to a minimum. But if Draft still has a store open where you can buy the files, like Andreas here has done, you guys can print these yourself if you have your own printer. To me, he printed these out. This ain't actually running right out and copying somebody's work. But the file was out there. In order for him to get the file, it had to be found. And so to me, Andreas, these are very, very nice. They're very, very usable. I would love to see you do some more intricate stuff. Also, here is a chassis that I got from Andreas. Also, this right here was also a Draft Design. I hadn't seen this chassis out in quite a while, so I don't know how long the file has been out or disappeared. You can see that the printer left some gaps right in there, but it's not big. It's all fixable. But that's the price you pay. We are hobbyists, guys. We are modelists. Some of the stuff that we get that we might be imperfection, we as model builders should be able to fix these. So you guys have a great day. This is my review for Andreas and his products over at Layin Low Hobbies. This is Minnie. You guys be good.